Good evening. I'm Chanel Vehicle Title Expert. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I thank you in advance for subscribing. So tonight I will continue with the series Liens on Auto Titles, and tonight I will talk about recording your lien on your auto title. I will talk about the importance of having that lien recorded. I will also cover areas of notation where liens are normally found on your title work, and finally, what happens if you omit to have that lien recorded. So first, very important, yes, it's important to have that lien filed on your auto title for obvious reasons. With that lien being in place, that lien holder can rest assured that they're going to get that title for collateral in the event you default on your loan. So that's very important for them. The buyer may not be so concerned about it, but that lien holder definitely, they need that title for obvious reasons. Number two, when it comes to having your lien notated on your title work, there are different points that the DMV will look for before they start to work up your title work at the window. Now, there are times the DMV will ask you, the buyer, if there is a lien, but they will not just go by your word alone. A thorough DMV clerk will look over that title work very thoroughly to see any signs of notations regarding that lien. Some areas where they will look would be an MCO or manufacturer certificate of origin. If you have one of those, the lien is going to be recorded on the back of the MCO. If you have a certificate of title, the lien, depending on your state, is going to be on the front or back of that certificate of title. If you have a supplemental dealer reassignment, depending on your state, the lien can be found there. The lien can also be found on your title application. And in some cases, depending on the dealer, the lien recording can also be on that purchase agreement. Now, certain states take lien filings or recordings a step further, and they do have security filing forms or notice of lien forms where you, the buyer or the dealership, will be required to complete that lien filing in addition to the title work that you already have. The state of New York, for example, they have what's called a notice of lien form. So if your vehicle is getting titled in New York and you have a lien, you will also be required to complete their notice of lien filing form. Okay, very important. So once the DMV sees any or all of these lien notations on your title work, then the clerk will process your title and will put that lien on the title record accordingly. Okay. And lastly, omitting a lien is very serious, whether it's the mistake of the dealership, you the buyer, or the DMV clerk, but is a very basic fix, pertaining to the situation at hand. However, time is of the essence. So the sooner that lien is recorded, then, the lien holder can, get that title as quickly as possible. Now, there are certain states, I will add, that, do not hold titles. So if there is a lien on that title record, depending on that state, that DMV clerk will still issue that title to that customer because they do not hold titles, even if there is a lien. Now, what that state will do if there is a lien, they will send a memo or a lien receipt to the lien holder advising the lien holder that they did in fact record that lien. Okay. But if you are in a state that holds titles, if there is a lien, then you, the customer, will not receive a title, or you should not expect to get a title because there is a lien on record. So with that being said, if you are in the state in which, they do not release titles due to liens, and you receive a title, then evidently, there was an error or some sort of omission with the lien being recorded on your title work or in the DMV system, or both. Okay, so if that clerk gives you a title by mistake, my recommendation, even though, some of you might be shaking your head and say, I'm not going to do that, but, give that title to that DMV clerk, even though you may not want to, because if you do not give that title to the clerk and they omitted that lien, DMV will send you a notice advising you to turn that title in, okay, because they have to record that lien. And if you don't comply with that notice, then the DMV can put a stop on your record because you are not complying. Okay. Now, if it's a DMV error, a lot of times they will not take you through, a lot of wasted time and, extra paperwork and things of this nature. It's just a matter of you mailing that title back to them or bringing that title in to the DMV in question. Now, if it's a case where the dealer, omitted to complete the lien recording on the title work, or some other issue occur and it was not a DMV error, then the DMV could require you to pay a lien filing fee or complete a supplemental lien application depending on your state. Okay, so keep that in mind. DMV error, they may not require you to complete a lot, just turn that title in. But if it's the error of you, the buyer or the customer, or the dealership's error, you could be required to pay additional fees and submit additional forms as well. So if you have any questions as it pertains to liens on auto titles, feel free to drop me a line below. Please check me out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Please click share and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to hear from you soon.